Right. Oh, this is new. Sorry. I've just realised that I'm currently recording, but I've only just realised that because I'm using an old laptop. Because my other laptop landed in the bin, in the bath even. It's fine. It's not having any issues. The charger's just screwed, but since it's Christmas and over the Christmas holidays, I didn't want to send it off for repairs because the place I got it to will be really busy already, and that just complicates things. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Happy Christmas, guys! Here in the UK, it's December 25th. Well, almost December 26th. Looking at my clock, it is 25 past 11. So it is quite late, but I can't sleep. I've had a bit to drink at my parents' because I've been to theirs for Christmas and we've done presents. Jake came with me, for those wondering. You may hear him in the background. He's asleep on the end of my bed right now. For those who can't tell, I am in my bedroom, in bed, currently with my flamingo mumsy on. But I wanted to pop on and just make a video about autism and sensory processing disorder and other special needs and Christmas because it felt appropriate. Yes, it's nearly almost the end of Christmas Day here, but a lot of schools and colleges and universities are off for Christmas break. Excuse me. And I'm pretty sure it's the same around other countries as well, like the US and America. And US and America are the same thing. US and Australia and things like that. I know that other people are off for Christmas break or winter break, whatever you want to call it now. So I know that people are going to be around family more. They're probably going to be around lots more other things that they're not normally around, especially school children and young children. So I just wanted to pop on and not explain myself as such, but just give a few tips and a few more reassurances when it comes to special needs and Christmas and holidays in general. I know that because of COVID-19, for those like me, a pandemic is really, really difficult. Well, okay, I'm chatting bullcrap because a pandemic is difficult for everyone. But when you've got additional needs as well, the change that comes with the pandemic makes things a hell of a lot harder. Now, I understand that autism's a spectrum. For those who don't know that, when you're on the spectrum, you're autistic. You're either one end or the other or in between. You're not just severe or high functioning. You can be in between as well. So everyone on the spectrum has very similar traits, but other things that make them different. And some people have comorbid conditions that go along with their autism, like I do, which is why Christmas and New Year's and celebrations are quite difficult for me, and they probably will be for your loved one with additional needs or your friends with additional needs. So here are what I do when I find Christmas, New Year's, general celebrations difficult, other than something that not a lot of people probably do, which is take my service dog, my assistant's dog. He is currently, for those wondering, asleep on the end of my bed. But other than that, because obviously not everyone has a dog they can take with them that's trained, I take time out. So I'll use tonight as an example. I had a meltdown because I was absolutely exhausted. I was really angry that my sister got to choose what we watched without consulting anyone. I was really frustrated that my plans had changed because we're not doing what we normally do on a Sunday because obviously it's Christmas. I had a complete meltdown. I got really upset. I cried. I shouted. I meowed a lot. I told everyone to leave me alone. And they did. Because sometimes I need that space And other people on the spectrum need space alone, even if they're not having a meltdown. They need that time alone. They need the space alone to wind down, to decompress, to just do what they need to do to be able to get through the rest of that time or the rest of that space. Time is very, very important. No matter how much routine or schedule or sameness we have in our life, we also need downtime just as much as every person does, as every other person does. We need that time to relax, to be on our own, to do our own stims if we're not supposed to, we're not allowed to, or it's too dangerous to do them where we are. Even during celebrations, because autism doesn't take a break during celebrations. So please, if you see us and we tell you to leave us alone, please leave us alone. Even if it upsets you, or it makes you angry, or whatever else, or it upsets your family, or who you're around, understand we're not doing it to be selfish. We're doing it so that we can calm down before we get any further into a stage of a meltdown or hurting ourselves. Because a setting where it's out of our routine is very overwhelming for us. Another thing I would suggest in terms of dealing with holidays and situations like that would be bring a toy or a sensory tool that you can use that'll help you. Now for myself, obviously I have Jakey, but I also take ear defenders. I take my phone, and I take a box, not a box, but like a little pocket of sensory toys and chewy sweets. Because, sorry, I've got itches for those wondering what I'm doing. It gives me something to focus on when I am overwhelmed. And it gives me something to focus on when I want to harm myself, which obviously is not a trait for every person with autism, but it can be for some. And it also helped me with my sensory issues surrounding the holidays, with all the bright lights, the carolers, the noise, the people, different routine. It gives me something else to focus on, to calm my senses, to deal with the anxiety I'm feeling, and to not harm myself during that. Number 3. Oh, that's 2. Number 3. Please don't expect us to be okay. Like, everyone expects us to be excited and smile and happy and all the rest of it on Christmas and New Year's and when you're giving gifts and stuff. For us, that's not always going to happen. I mean, I struggle a lot because I can't read body language and facial expressions. So if I give gifts and people don't verbally affirm to me that they like them or want them, I get worried. However, people give me gifts, I don't always smile. I don't say thank you very often. I don't say whether I like them or not. But that's because I struggle to know the appropriate response. It's not because I'm being rude. It's not because I'm being ignorant, and it's certainly not because I'm ignoring the person that gave me the present. It's that I don't know how to respond appropriately unless I am taught. Now that might be the same for other people. You don't know unless you ask. So please ask. Please ask the appropriate questions if it's necessary. Please ask if we like it. Please tell us it's okay if we don't. And please tell us you've got the receipt if we need to change anything or exchange anything, because that'll give us some reassurance and some calm that we need in order to manage the rest of the day. Number 4. Let us adapt to the holidays or the day or the traditional stuff or the stuff that we're doing that we don't normally do on our daily routine. Let us do that in our time, in our own time. Don't expect it. Don't force it upon us. Don't push it upon us. Yes, it might frustrate you that it takes us longer, but at the same time, if we're given that time to adjust to it ourselves, we're better behaved, we'll find it easier to deal with, and we'll find it easier to do the stuff you're asking of us, whether that be wrapping or receiving presents, whether that be helping cook, whether that be taking the dog or the cat or the animal out for a walk, whether that be playing with siblings, playing with cousins or relatives, whatever that may be. If we get warning beforehand and time to adjust to that before and during, we are more than likely to do so and do it in a better mood. And number 5, if a tradition doesn't work for us, don't expect us to do it, and don't put pressure on yourself to continue to do it if it doesn't work, because that won't get you anywhere. People on the spectrum love routine, but at the same time, gatherings, loads of people, loads of noise, bright lights, can all cause sensory issues, can all cause issues with how we deal with the world around us. If you're going to try and get us to do something, at least ask us first. We're all intelligent. Even those who can't speak can at least acknowledge whether they want to do something or not. Don't force us into a tradition just because it looks good for you, or it models how you're good at parenting or good at being a family or relatives. Don't force us into it. Don't make us do it, and don't expect us to, because it isn't fair and it isn't right. You wouldn't want someone to force you into doing something that you didn't want to do or that you would struggle to do. So please don't make us do it. Listen to us, listen to what we want, listen to what we need, and make sure we're safe. It's not that hard to understand or to do. And I understand to a lot of people that it sounds like I'm just talking to myself in those 5 things, but that's because that's where I have the most experience. I mean, yes, my sister has Asperger, but she deals a lot better with this sort of stuff. However, your loved one with autism or additional needs may also have the same problem. So please don't be afraid to ask them what they need or what they want. Don't be afraid to advocate for them when they can't for themselves. And don't be afraid to adapt to them. You never know, that might be the best thing you can do for your loved one on the holidays or on the breaks or the time where they don't have routine. It's the best thing that I've ever done. I mean, I know it sounds so weird, but I never thought I'd be so thankful for a freaking pandemic that I hope goes away soon, because it's meant that I can skip out on the parts of Christmas Day that really stressed me out and really upset me, and get to spend it with people I know understand me and know truly get me and Jake, and that's been really helpful. I am, however, going to sign off now before it gets to actually the 26th of December and Christmas Day is over. But before I go, I'm going to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.